Welcome to today's video! Flooding is one of the most destructive natural disasters, impacting millions of lives every year. Certain countries are particularly vulnerable due to their geography, climate, and even infrastructure. Today, we're diving into the nations most at risk of devastating floods. Stick around, you might be surprised by some of the countries on this list. 1. Bangladesh. Let's start with Bangladesh, a low-lying delta crisscrossed by rivers like the Ganges and Brahmaputra. Monsoons and rising sea levels make this country highly prone to floods. Every year, an average of 21% of Bangladesh is submerged underwater, affecting millions of people. 2. India. Next, we have India, a country where heavy monsoon rains cause rivers to overflow, especially in low-lying and coastal areas. The devastating floods in Kerala in 2018 were one of the worst in recent memory, claiming over 400 lives. 3. The Netherlands. Although the Netherlands has one of the world's most advanced flood control systems, much of the country lies below sea level, making it extremely vulnerable to coastal and river floods. Their delta works is an engineering marvel designed to keep the sea at bay. 4. Guyana. In South America, Guyana's flat coastal areas are prone to flooding during heavy rains. Back in 2005, the country faced its worst flood in decades, displacing over 300,000 people. Over 40% of the population lost their homes and belongings. 5. China's mighty rivers, the Yangtze and Yellow Rivers, are known for their seasonal flooding. In 2020, floods along the Yangtze displaced millions of people, highlighting how vulnerable this nation is to water disasters. 6. Colombia. In Colombia, tropical rains and river overflows frequently cause landslides and floods. The 2010 floods displaced an astonishing 2.4 million people. This event shows how sudden and severe flood risks can be. 7. Indonesia. As an archipelago, Indonesia is particularly vulnerable to heavy rains, coastal floods, and rising sea levels. Jakarta's poor drainage system only makes things worse. In 2020, floods displaced thousands in the capital city alone. 8. Pakistan monsoon season in Pakistan often brings devastating floods, particularly along the Indus River. In 2010, record floods affected 20 million people, leaving a huge mark on the country's agricultural and infrastructural sectors. 9. Brazil's mountainous regions face significant risks of landslides and flooding from heavy rains. In 2024, floods in Rio Grande do Sul left over 500,000 people displaced and tragically took 181 lives. 10. Vietnam's long coastline makes it vulnerable to typhoons and river floods. Typhoon Molave in 2020 triggered widespread floods and landslides, causing massive damage to the country's infrastructure. 11. The Philippines. We cannot overlook the Philippines, a country frequently in the path of Pacific typhoons. On average, around 20 typhoons hit the Philippines each year, causing devastating floods, especially in urban areas like Metro Manila. Typhoons bring torrential rains, leading to river overflows and flash floods. One of the most tragic examples was Typhoon Yolanda, Haiyan, in 2013, which led to storm surges and widespread flooding affecting millions of people. Rising sea levels and poor urban drainage also increase the country's flood vulnerability. These are just some of the countries where flooding poses a significant risk, often resulting in large-scale displacement, loss of life, and destruction of property. If you're interested in learning more about natural disasters and how countries around the world are preparing for these events, make sure to click that subscribe button and stay tuned for our next video. Let me know in the comments below if there's a country you think should be on this list or if you have any flood stories to share. Thanks for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.